So I said I was going to watch the final season of What If and do a review for it. And you're probably wondering why it's taken me this long to get around to it. Well, after the first two episodes, I lay cringed up in a ball for a couple of hours. By the third episode, I had to go and find a hill, sit on it, and stare out into the great beyond, thinking about the meaning of life. By the fifth episode, I was sobbing uncontrollably at how horrible I'd wasted my time with this. But I soldiered on and I got through it. And now I'm going to do a review for all the episodes of final season of What If, because now it's come down to not what if, it's come down to what the is this? But let's dive into this, people, because why the hell not? I mean, So it basically starts off with this in season one. It starts off with the Avengers stuff. And the basic way to put this episode is: have you ever wondered what would happen if Hulk turned himself into a kaiju? No, you probably haven't, and neither has anybody else. But What If figured, hey, what the hell, let's do that. So basically, what happens is that in this so-called universe, the Avengers all have giant mechs, and they're battling kaiju-like creatures that came from the Hulk, who come out of the earth and do things like that. Okay, if you're thinking this sounds like a ripoff of Pacific Rim, you're right, it does. But that's what we're getting. So we get into this, and there all of this nothing going on. We get to it here, so we could see exactly what happens in regards to this what if thing. Now, how this whole thing works out is that in this universe, um, Falcon, who's now Falcon Cap, and Bruce Banner are friends, right? They started off when they were like running and stuff, and they were talking all that together. And get to find out, Bruce Banner has all this because he's the Hulk, he can't get close to anybody. And Falcon is running like this, kind of treatment center for people suffering with psychological problems and stuff like that. And they get to talking and all of this stuff and thing, and they're good friends and all of that, right? But Banner is worried about being the Hulk. He turns into the Hulk. He doesn't want to hurt anybody. So what does he do in his genius level of intellect? He decides that the best way to cure himself of the Hulk is to bombard himself with more gamma radiation, because that always makes sense. He bombards himself with gamma radiation and kind of splits, right? He splits from the Hulk, literally splits into this thing. This thing comes out of it and basically call it the apex. There's no way other than the fact it's a kaiju. That's what it is. It's a freaking kaiju. That's what it does. Grows humongous, starts destroying cities and all of this madness and stuff. The Avengers are all there that we are, because the kaiju starts to spawn smaller versions of itself and all kind of stuff like that. So the Avengers that we have to stop them. We'll go that. So what do? They get a whole bunch of mechs, because this is Pacific Rim. I don't know why. I mean, I could maybe see Iron Man or Captain America doing this, but why would Thor need a mech when he's literally fought frost giants? And Hawkeye, that don't make no kind of sense. That's Black Widow. I mean, she kicks and shoots things with her stingers. The only two people I could really see would need mechs, well, mostly one person would be Iron Man. Captain America only if Iron Man really talked him into it. But I don't see any reason why he would need a mech. That doesn't make any kind of sense to me. But they get these mechs, they go out, they fight the kaijus, because that's what happens, big battle and all of that. And they manage to drive the apex back, but they all die. That's pretty much it. They all die. I don't know. Maybe from embarrassment and having to pilot those things when they don't need them. But whatever, they all kick the bucket. So after that, now new Avengers take up the role with some new mechs as well, and Falcon Cap is in there and stuff. They end up finishing the thing and driving the Apex really back into it. So whole thing was called the Gamma War. We then pick up 10 years after the Gamma War, and as I say, you have Falcon Cap and the rest of these people there. You also have what we call she from the Marvels. So what was this woman name again? By Photon is there with him and all that stuff, and they're talking about how they're picking up some gamma readings from the North Pole, and they worry that it could be something to do with the apex and all of that. Talking about how they need to deal with it. But apparently Bruce Banner has disappeared. Nobody knows where he is. He's gone. He doesn't want anything to do with anybody because people are supposed to care about that. I really don't know why. So they get the readings, and Falcon Cap and Photon decide, yeah, let's go out there and see if we can check this out, because that's what we do apparently. So they go out there with their giant mechs, because again, this is a direct ripoff of Pacific Rim. There's no other way to put it. Direct ripoff. They encounter one of the apex creature thing that it spawns. They fight, more show up, all of this stuff. They end up under the water. They get to find out that, it's not just one, it's hundreds of them, and that the apex is back, right? So they need to find a way to stop it, because this thing is heading for a populated area, and it intends to kill everybody and their uncle if it gets the chance. And they're thinking that, maybe they could do something. So they all come together and something. They get their asses kicked. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. All of that. So Photon tells Falcon Cap that she knows where Bruce Banner is. She found out, and that he needs to go and see him, because he needs to get he's gonna need his help to stop the apex and all of that. So they go. He goes, actually, finds Bruce Banner. He's living in an airplane thing for some reason. Talk about it. Tell him that the apex is back. He needs the help, but Bruce Banner doesn't want to, because he said that he's finally found a way to live without the Hulk ruining his life, and he can't go back. He's the cause of all of this, and he needs to stay where he is. He doesn't want to in that. So he tells him no, he can't do it. But he did what he tells him, that he did work on something, on a way to make the mech stronger, to have them defeat the apex. So he gives him the information, tells him that that's really all he can do for him. So Falcon Cap goes back, and all the other mechs show up there, and then they get the information, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna take on this thing. They're bringing all this stuff to try and stop the apex and all of that. They're trying to blow the crap out of it. They show up, and then they're all, there's only one way to do this. Let's go, Power Rangers. And they literally start to combine their mechs, like into one giant Megazord. They combine into one giant Megazord. And then they go out there and start to fight the apex and its creature things. They start battling it, blasting away whatever they could, but it ain't working out. The apex starts to kick their ass, because they ain't having that anymore. So what happens? Bruce Banner comes in, and in his plane that he was living in, he fixes it, and he's literally put himself inside of a nuclear bomb, and he's gonna drop it on top of the apex to trigger what's going to happen. What he wants to do is to flood his system with even more gamma radiation, so he could then be on equal terms enough to fight the apex, because apparently more gamma radiation is what got you into this mess. Let's go and add even more. That makes perfect sense. Yes, really does. So he does it, blows himself up, and of course, Hulk turns into a giant kaiju because nobody ever asked for this, but sure, let's go with that. That makes sense, I guess. So Hulk and Apex Kaiju have this giant kaiju smackdown. Apex is on the process of beating the shit out of Hulk because, of course, Falcon Cap helps him out, and then Kaiju Hulk ends up killing the Apex, sucks the gamma radiation out of it, and kills it. And then he's all, I'm a monster now, and the rest of the kaiju are waiting to find what he's going to do. They are all ready to shoot, to open fire on Kaiju Hulk, but Falcon Cap goes out there and basically talks to him. And then Kaiju Hulk he recognizes him, remembers him, and then he leads the rest of his kaiju away. They all just walk off and go. Very Pacific Rim of them and all of that. So they head out into the great unknown and they end up living on this island there. All of them are just there doing whatever in the name of God that they want to do. And that's it. So this episode was basically, what if the Avengers ripped off Pacific Rim? That was it. That was it. My final rating for this episode, I give it a out of 5. It's not good. And this was the start of it, and I kind of knew where this was going because the episode was really boring, made no sense, and was just nonsensical. They were literally ripping off Pacific Rim while trying to make it fit into the MCU, and it just wasn't happening. But that was just episode 1. There's more to go. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell, be notified every time I put out a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.